All right, y'all. So I got a little topic I want to talk to you guys about tonight, and I might ruffle a few feathers with this one, but what else is new? Some of y'all might not agree, some of y'all might, but that's the fun of this. But I want to know something. Why is it that females these days, why is it that they're not ladylike anymore? Like, what is so hard for a woman to be feminine or for her to actually be a lady? Because it seems like 75-80% of the women who I see on social media in person, they all want to act like niggas. And it's not attractive. It is really not attractive for a woman to act more masculine than a man. And I know a lot of women are watching this right now saying, well, if more men were gentlemen, there'd be more women who act ladylike. And I'll talk more about that later, but the thing is, you can really argue that, but the only reason why it bothers me so much is because I grew up watching my mother be a lady, and I grew up watching my father be a man. See, the thing is, there's supposed to be a balance of feminine and masculine energy. A man is in a woman's feminine and masculine energy is supposed to complement each other. We're not supposed to act like the other. And I guess another big reason why a lot of women seem to act more masculine nowadays is because, one, they didn't really have a father figure in their life, so they try to act masculine to replace that father figure that they didn't have in their life. It's like, well, I don't have a man in my life, so I gotta be the man, because my mother, she had to be the man because my father wasn't around. And the thing is, that's kind of true too, because my father was raised by a single mother. My granddad, he kind of left them out. He kind of left them because he had another family or whatever, but that's a whole different topic. But and another reason is because a lot of women, they feel like that they need to act masculine, or they need to act more of a man, so they won't get their hearts broken by another man. They use that whole masculine thing to protect their feelings, which, there's other ways that you can do that. I mean, because come on, my mother is classy, and I want to be able to introduce my mother to a classy woman. Now, back to men for a second. I kind of do feel like that the majority of men have forgotten how to be gentlemen, or forgotten how to be masculine. And a big reason behind that is because a lot of these boys, they're raised by single mothers. And because the only reason why is because their mother she had to be strong, because the father, they didn't have no positive male role model in their life to show them how to be a man or show them how to be a gentleman. So they had to either pick it up from the streets, or they've got the feminine tendencies that they've got from the other women around them. And that kind of what throws everything off of balance. But like I said, I want to introduce my woman to my mother, because my mother's a feminine woman. Because come on, like, I want to date a lady. I don't want to date DMX. Hey, yo, my man. Hey, yo, dog. Like, what the hell do I look like? Come on, man. Like, for real. And it's another meme that I seen says, these females nowadays be fighting, cussing, and drinking beer. I want to date a woman, not Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, me personally, I am a man who, the thing is, I'll step up when it's time to be a man. I know when to be a man, but I also am not afraid to show my sensitive side. I'm not afraid to let my guard down and be vulnerable. But it's a lot of men who feel like that if they show their sensitive or emotional side to a woman, a woman will be like, oh, you a bitch. I need me a real nigga in my life. I need me a strong man. The thing is, it ain't nothing stronger than a man who knows when to let his guard down to his woman. And a lot of females don't get that. And that's the reason why a lot of women feel like that they need to be masculine. They need to be less ladylike. It's because they feel like that, oh, I gotta be hard because my mother was hard. Or if their father was around, their father was hard on them. Or their father was too hard around them and didn't let them their father didn't let them breathe. That's also a big reason why too, is because a lot of women who were raised by single fathers, their fathers overly sheltered them. Don't get me wrong. Once again, it is really some men out here with some female tendencies. And I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with women on this. Like, no woman wants a man who's more feminine than him, putting on lip gloss, trying on her panties, and being in the mirror more than her. But it's the same thing, a man does not want his woman to be more masculine than him. He doesn't want DMX walking around her like 50 Cent with a damn bulletproof vest on. Y'all know what I'm saying? But this is really something that I can go on all day long about, but I just want you guys 2 cents on it. Like, in your opinion, or if you know somebody like this, like, why is it that a lot of women you feel like are not feminine anymore? Do you feel like that they use that as a defense mechanism to keep them from getting their hearts broken? Or do you feel like it's because they don't know how to be a lady and they weren't taught or raised that way? Same thing for the fellas. Do y'all feel like the fellas ain't masculine no more and they're afraid to show their sensitive side because other people will think they're weak, or because they weren't raised that way?